Rob's Arcade, Rob's Arcade, where the games get played and the games get saved so they can be played on another day. Rob's Arcade.
Well, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Rob's Arcade. I am your host, as always, Mr. Rob French. Hanging out with me today is my special co-host, Mr. R4D1. Want to give a special shout out right away to all my R cadets out there hanging out, all of my subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting for? Hit that little button, guys. Before we get started, I also want to give a shout out to Buck Martin, whose beautiful voice you just heard providing our awesome little theme ditty there. Thank you so much. Always so great hearing that. Just love it. Just gets me jazzed up every time. And it is time for the midweek breakdown. That's right. It's Wednesday once again. And he's right. Actually, no, it's not Wednesday. Today is Thursday. And yes, we are a day late and $1 short, but I'll get to all that in just a moment. Had a couple little hiccups in the new comic book day. But for those of you who are not familiar with the midweek breakdown, let me just go ahead and explain that to you guys. I just kind of like to hang out with you guys basically in the middle of the week, typically on Wednesday, and just kind of talk about some nerd stuff, hang out, share like reactions to trailers that are coming out, and just anything like, comic book news or video game kind of stuff. And it's also Wednesday, so it's time for new comic books typically. And I'll run out and grab some new books, come back and like share those with you guys just to kind of show you what I picked up for my collection. I want to really quick recommend before watching my video, it's always fun to go over and check out the Comic Book Club Incorporated. I'll try to leave a link down in my comments there for you. They do a great little video. It's actually the comic shop here in Brandon, Florida that I grab all of my books from. And they do a really cool show. They kind of show you what's coming out every week, the different books, the different variant covers, toys, and just different things like that. And I think it's just a lot of fun to kind of hang out with the Comic Book Incorporated Club. Go ahead and subscribe to them as well. You can see everything that comes out and then kind of come back and hang out with me and see exactly what books I picked up this week. Now, R4 is hanging out with me because we're going to be trying something a little bit new this week, where we're going to be doing like a little pick of the week, where R4 and I will pick one book out of our selection that we think is going to be really fun, or that we are looking really forward to. And I think this is going to be something fun, a cool little segment here in the midweek breakdown. I've been kind of doing some revamps in a lot of my shows, and I think this will be a lot of fun for this one. Also, I like to share how many comics that I've read over the past week, which actually this week I was looking at my little booklet. It was only, I didn't even write down how many exactly. I wrote down like 10 maybe. Like that's, I wasn't even really sure. Kind of a busy weekend. I know I need to do better about all that. He said he read like 138 comics over this past week. That's pretty decent. But you only read about 10 books over this past weekend and past week, which I think I need to kind of like up that. And I think I'll have plenty of time. I'm going out of town, heading back up north to Virginia this weekend. So I'll be hitting some local comic shops that I grew up hitting, maybe get some footage of those. And I have, I think, a little bit of downtime between the plane and just hanging out with like family and stuff like that, that I'll be able to get some decent comic book reading and get my numbers back up to where they should be. Also this week, speaking of up north, this came from my mom back up in Virginia. She sent me these really cool little pins, which I actually have one here in my hat. It's the Falcon on my Captain America hat there, which I need to get a new one. It's getting kind of dingy. But she sent me all these really cool little Marvel pins. I was going to go ahead and share some of these with you. We have Captain Marvel here. And then here we have Miss Marvel, Jean Grey, the Phoenix. Let's see here, we have another female, Black Widow. Like that pin, I like that hairstyle on her there, got that whoosh going on. Another female, here we go, Nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy there. Thor, really cute little, just love these little like child looking little, I don't know, these child little pins here. We got the Hulk, Star-Lord action, pretty neat. Double barrel gun, not double barrel guns, I guess 2 guns there. Pew, pew. Got Iron Man, the guy who ruined the MCU, and then the guy who saved the MCU. We have Iron Fist, She-Hulk, and then I think everybody's personal favorite, Daredevil. Those are all just really cool. Yeah, I think that's my favorite too. So yeah, explaining the hiccup yesterday. So today's Thursday, and like I said, typically I like to come to you guys on Wednesday with the new comic books. But my wife actually is back in the office now. She's been working from home for quite some time, and she's back in the office like a couple times a month. And it just happens to be that Wednesday is now the day that she's going to be hanging out in the office. Now I'll pick up my car this weekend, which is why I'm heading back up north. And hopefully this won't happen again. But I was stuck here yesterday without a ride, and the comic shop closes at 8. And she literally got home at like 7:45. Luckily the comic shop is only like 5 minutes away. So I was able to like run up there, grab my books, and get back home. But it just wasn't enough time to like do a video, eat dinner, and do all of that stuff. So like I just basically had to just postpone it. I had a whole intro that I did yesterday that I scrapped because it just didn't make a whole lot of sense for me and R4 to be hanging out talking about how it's Wednesday when it's not Wednesday anymore, it's actually Thursday. So that was kind of the hiccup yesterday. It was really cute though, as I'm running into the comic book club. Like I said, they've gotten to know me by now, and they're like, "You're late. What's going on? What happened?" And I explained the situation and said, like, "Don't worry, I'm getting my car this weekend, so hopefully like this won't happen again." And it was just really funny. I know, it's like exactly. It was just really funny too, because I run in and she's like, what happened? And I explained the situation, and she's like, "Oh no," and like, "Oh, cars could be so frustrating," and blah 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, I was like, my wife went in on a Tuesday. It's like her first day back in the office, and everything was really great. And then she comes home and she's like, well, yeah. And then starting Wednesdays, I'll be going in. And both of us were just like, no, not Wednesday. Wednesday is the most important day of the week. But my wife is such a good sport, so sweet. It was kind of like, hello, dear, how was your day? Give me the keys. And then I ran out real quick, grabbed my books, and then made it back here just in time to have dinner, start a movie, and fall asleep before the credits rolled. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna run out to the comic book store right now. I'll pretend to, I already went to the comic book store. And then I'll be back in just a second. You can see what I picked up. Don't go anywhere. And like I said, guys, if you haven't watched the Comic Book Club Incorporated video, go ahead, hit them now on YouTube. It's real simple, Comic Book Incorporated, it's really easy. Check out their video, come back and hang out with me. Be right back, guys. See you in a bit. Later. Dang, YouTube. I made it to the comic shop with literally 10 minutes to go. Just 10 minutes. My wife got home. I literally was like, hey, honey, how was your day? And then grabbed her keys, ran to the comic shop. Had exactly 10 minutes to get my shopping done. Just grabbed a few books, but wow. All right, don't go anywhere, and I'll show you what I picked up. Probably tomorrow. I don't think I might do it tonight, but don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. All right, guys, welcome back. Hopefully I didn't take too long at the comic book shop. Wasn't a whole lot this week that I, really needed to grab. I've been trying to cut back on just buying unnecessary variant covers, unnecessary titles that I really don't, follow and keep up with, as well as some of these like just new titles they seem to be throwing out there. At random. I get pulled into these like little 6-part miniseries, these 10-part miniseries all the time, and trying to go forward, really picking and choosing my battles, if you will, with these different titles and which ones I want to stick to. You know, I'm always going to have my Spawns, my Batmans, my Spider-Mans. Like, I think those will be, Wolverine will always be the essence in my wheelhouse, and then I have to be very careful and selective about what other titles I pick up when it comes to things like, you know, Star Wars and different independents and things like that. But enough is enough. Let's go ahead and jump into the few select titles that I did pick up this week over at the Comic Book Club Incorporated. All right, first up is actually a book that I picked up starting last month for my wife. She's really into the Stranger Things titles. She likes these a lot. I do as well. And this is the latest one, The Tomb of Yeben. This is a story following Will. Kind of a solo adventure, it seems like, as he's following clues that were left behind by Bob when he was younger and a member of the AV Club himself. So pretty cool title. This takes place like right after the events, it seems like, of season 2 into season 3. So kind of a cool little filler story, if you will. And if you're into the series, this is a really cool way to get your Stranger Things fix in between seasons. So I don't know if you've seen the new trailer for season 4. Looks really good. I'm interested to see how they're all going to wrap all that up together. Not a whole lot this week that I wanted to grab from DC. Been trying to like narrow some of that down a little bit, but I have been really loving the Joker series, so I went ahead and grabbed up the latest issue of that. There's something about the Joker I really like. Primarily, not just necessarily the Joker itself, but the Commissioner Gordon thing, the side of things, the whole aspect of kind of like, it's almost the way the text is done. It's got that like year 1 kind of text, and it just feels like a great kind of like follow-up to Jim Gordon's life within the DC universe. You know, you're just touching on his daughters, the Killing Joke, and that whole story arc. And I don't know, just if you're a fan of not just Batman, but the whole scope of Gotham, that's a good addition to the stories and the characters of Gotham City. Very, very fun. And then it's, you know, you got Joker and Commissioner Gordon bouncing back and forth off each other. It's just a lot of fun. That's just a lot of fun. That was the only thing I picked up from DC. We're going to hop right into Marvel. This is one I missed last week for some reason. I don't know why, but for some reason I skipped over Spider-Man 78. And I felt like I mentioned too last week that like they gave us a break on Spider-Man. Yeah, and it's like every week they have a Spider-Man book coming out, I feel like. And so I feel like I just overlooked this for some reason. I don't know what was up. And, you know, I picked it up this week. Got more story coming from not only Morbius, but Ben Reilly, the clone of Spider-Man, which that was a whole fiasco. We won't even touch on that whole subject. But it's been a fun read, just getting you know, some different Spider-Man. Spider-Man's always fun regardless of who is in the suit. Speaking of which, we have Miles Morales in his new suit here, and I just really love that color on the cover there. It's very, very beautiful, very simple but dynamic. Just really pops. This is something I would like, you know, have in a poster or something like that on my wall. It's very cool artwork, and been really digging the Miles book. And it seems like, you know, Miles is dealing with some clone stuff of his own, and of course Taskmaster is back on the scene. So definitely don't miss this book this month. And last but not least is Alien, the new series here from Marvel. This has been a lot of fun. Anything, I don't know what's going on, dude. Anything that has to do with space, science fiction, I'm always about it. Love it. You know, we always love anything that has to do with. I know that's all we love. That's why we love Star Wars. I know there's no Star Wars books out this week, which is kind of glad there's so many Star Wars books I've been picking up. But this has been a lot of fun. Again, if you're really into the franchise, this is a great way to kind of get more Alien stories in between, movie releases. And I'm sure there's going to be another Alien movie out eventually. I'm actually watching Prometheus right now on in the background. And like I said, if you're a fan of that franchise, and not necessarily like a fan of, superhero comic books, this is a great way to not only get your fix for sci-fi and Alien, but expose yourself to the really great medium of comic books. Here we go. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a break real quick. We're going to let R4 pick out his pick of the week, and we will be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. All right, well, there we have it. R4's pick of the week is Alien number 8. This is a really great book. Love the cover. I'm sure this is a spoof or an homage. I feel like that was done in a comic book club video as well. When it's an art cover, it's an homage. Mad Magazine does like spoofs. Yeah, this isn't a spoof. This is an homage. I'm sure there's like a famous painting that this is referencing somewhere, but I just love it because it's, insinuating kind of like what's happening inside the book in a very, very horrific horror movie styled way there, where this new book is dealing with this whole story with farming, terror farming, and almost like a colonial, colonization of this whole new little village there. And here we have kind of something similar where we might see something like in Williamsburg or Jamestown, this lady being kind of attacked there by the alien. It's just a really cool image that you don't really see a whole lot of necessarily when it comes to the Alien franchise. Typically it's a lot of space and spaceships and space stations and things like that. So to see this kind of like weird, we have this Victorian cover here with this this pod squid on this lady's face. It's just really, really cool. And then, like I said, I've been really just digging the overall story. Like I said, we got some really cool stuff here where it's like, these townspeople trying to deal with what's going on when it comes to this whole alien situation. And then, of course, it wouldn't be an Alien book if you didn't have some really just horrific kind of stuff like this, what nightmares are made of. So this is just a really, really fun book. Our pick of the week, Alien from Marvel. Don't want to miss out on this. And I'm sure at some point they'll have like paperback collections of each of story arc. The first 6 issues followed a father and son through space and their encounters with Alien. And this one looks like it's going to take place in like a cool little farmy little village there. So I'm excited to see where that's going to go. And I'm sad to see us go. This is a lot of fun, R4, but it's time to kind of wrap things up. But this isn't goodbye, simply to be continued. We will be back. So until then, just hit that comment section down below. Let us know how we're doing. Hit the like button, the dislike button. Let me know what you're thinking. Hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. And if you are, hit the share button. Let's get some more people in here. I will see you guys soon. I'll see all my family and friends sooner than you think. And until next time, don't spend that quarter anywhere else. See you guys. Say goodbye, R4. He actually said goodbye, R4.